Hello, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Bomber Briefing. I'm Jake Asman. Welcome to episode number 6. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch all the other episodes thus far. Our guest this week is all-conference kick returner, junior running back, AJ Clifford. AJ, an honor to talk to you, my friend. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for letting me come on the show, man.
So let's talk about your experience at IC. I know, I'm sure you'd love to be playing right now, of course, and having your junior season. But, take us back to the recruiting process. What was it like? What ultimately led you to go from Rochester, New York, all the way to Ithaca College and be a Bomber now?
Well, when I was in high school, I played for the head coach's son of Ithaca, Mike Welch. I played for his son, Jeff. So I had the Ithaca culture around me for a little bit. And one of my first times when I was out during the recruiting process, he obviously was very high on Ithaca and said, you should, come up, visit the campus and go to a couple camps up here. So I've been visiting Ithaca around since about a freshman. And every time I went, more and more, I kind of adapted to it. I kind of knew the campus already. I felt comfortable there. And I definitely liked the environment and the coaches, what they offered. So that was definitely a big step in my recruiting process.
Your background is so interesting because, as you mentioned, in high school, you played for the son of Mike Welch, Jeff Welch. So you obviously had a lot of inside knowledge on what the Ithaca Bomber program was all about. What stood out to you during that first visit that you took to the campus? When you saw the campus, saw the facilities for the first time, what do you remember about that moment?
I just remember first time ever really being on any college campus at all. So I just remember looking around and it was like, I'm in a little city right here. It's like a little condemned area, all the buildings big and tall. I was like, this is crazy to think about. I could be spending the next 4 years here. So yeah.
2 seasons in now, of course, you have had a ton of great experiences. I mentioned at the top last season, all-conference kick returner. Was kick returning something you were always passionate about? Was that always something that was a part of your career going back to your high school days?
Yeah, I wasn't actually really allowed to return kicks in high school, but by my senior year, they were like, "All right, we kind of need a spark." So I was like, "All right." They throw me back there, started doing good. Fell in love with it a little bit, and then up in Ithaca, I wasn't getting a lot of reps at running back as a freshman. You got to fight for anything up there. So I took any spot I could get. I went out for kick returner, tried it, liked it. Obviously, it worked out in the long run. So definitely looking forward to hopefully keeping that position on lock.
What stands out to you about Coach Swanstrom and his staff now that you've been in the program for a couple of years?
They are legit. They are just straight business. They like to have fun here and there, but 90% is get the job done, no games, and I respect that because in sports you gotta have a goal, and with them we never lose sight of the goal. So.
You obviously are aware of the tradition of Ithaca, of course, from your high school days under Coach Welch there. But, of course, Coach Swanstrom, when you first got to campus, was only in, I believe, either his second or third season as the coach. So what was it like kind of hearing all about Ithaca and then getting a chance to be part of the program under Coach Swanstrom?
When I was visiting when I was younger, definitely, the whole offense, everything we were doing was very different. So definitely coming back when Swan came in was a little bit of adjustment. His offense strategy is very diverse, coming at you a lot of different ways. So I definitely found that intriguing to run the spread from, the traditional power king offense. So definitely was a fun out. Yeah.
No doubt about it. So you're also a Park student. You're a sports media major. How much of the the academics at IC, specifically the Park School, which is one of the best in the country, as you know, AJ. How much of that played a role in your decision to choose IC?
Played a pretty big role. I definitely wanted to get into sports media. I wanted to get into the broadcasting type scenario. So when I was being recruited, Swanee told me, Ithaca's got one of the best park schools in the nation. So I'm at communications programs in the nation. So if you're serious about your education, this is a good spot. So I definitely took that in consideration and helped me make my choice.
What have been some of your favorite classes that you've been able to take so far?
Favorite classes, I would definitely say I definitely enjoyed what what's it called? Field production, intro to field production. It was a little class. We get in like a group of 5 kids, and we just take turns working around like the production on a set, like recording. Someone was doing the audio, someone was being recorded. So that was definitely fun. It was very hands-on, and it definitely opened my knowledge to the process and to making productions.
Every player that we've had on Bomber Briefing has talked about the brotherhood that gets formed, the family environment that gets formed when you're a part of the Bomber football program. What has stood out to you about that environment that you've been in? Do you agree with the sentiment that it is a family, it is a brotherhood?
Oh, it's nothing but family and love up there. No one has any, like, there's no beef, there's nothing. Everyone is there to support each other. Everyone's helping everyone grow, and it was very similar to high school. So like, because obviously the tradition and everything. So like, it was just great to see it to come back into another brotherhood, family type of atmosphere playing football.
What have been some of your favorite moments, some of your favorite memories so far through 2 seasons and hopefully a 3rd season coming up, being in the program?
Oh, we already know the number 1 moment is court. Unbelievable. But I would definitely say close second for me would be the University of Rochester as a freshman. That was the first game I got to play in, and it was just a great moment to, put on the pads and be on the varsity team and, walk out onto the field and see the crowd and everything. Just great first college game experience.
So you mentioned Cortica, and then you just mentioned the crowd. Obviously, at MetLife Stadium, the crowd was not your typical college football game. It doesn't matter, D3 or not. Just in general, you usually don't get 45,000 fans, and of course, it broke the Division III attendance record at MetLife. Take me back when you first heard that there was a chance to play at MetLife. What your reaction was like when you first found out that, not that it was definitely happening, but it was a possibility. Hey, you guys could play Cortica at MetLife Stadium.
See this smile? It was even bigger. It was just to get the knowledge, and like, there was like a little leak, and everyone was like, kind of just talking about it, just like, we might play at MetLife, like, you hear it? And then like, it came to a reality, and then everyone was just hyped. Everybody was just, bragging, like just like, so excited to get this experience.
What do you remember about that week when you think back on it?
I remember the whole process from getting onto the bus to driving the 5-6 hours down to Jersey to MetLife, and what we did before. We had a very cool hotel. We had a very nice dinner. We ate with Cortland. That was kind of cool to see. We had like the tension build up a little bit at dinner, but that whole process and everything was just amazing experience. But I will say, walking out of the tunnel, that with the smoke and everything, and then you just look up and you see 45,000 people. I've never once felt small on the football field before, but that was just crazy to see.
Knowing you guys won the game, how much more special is that experience? Knowing that, hey, you got to play at MetLife, you got to play in front of 45,000. But if you don't win the game, it kind of takes a little bit away from it, right? So the fact that you guys were able to win the game, how much does that mean to you now, looking back on it?
It means everything. I don't think, like, if we went there and lost, like, I don't think anyone would really want to remember the experience. So coming out with the dub the way we did definitely added a lot to the excitement and to the just everything. Everybody was just in the best times of their lives when we won that game.
Moving forward, what are some goals that you have for the program and some personal goals that you have for yourself, as you hopefully get 2 more seasons to really get after it as a Bomber?
Mm-hmm. Well, personally, I hope to continue in my growth. I definitely want to get stronger, want to continue to get faster. Can't be complacent. I want to strive to get myself better. And personally, I would love to get some more accolades, earn some more honors and mentions and everything. But as a team, I would love to step up in a role and lead the younger people, lead some of the team members we have, just to keep us straight and focused and to reach our end goal, and that is to eventually come home with a championship sometime. So everything to the championship.
No doubt about it. Finally, AJ, what would be your message to a recruit that's thinking about Ithaca? They have a bunch of different options. Why, if you're this recruit, why should they come and spend 4 years on South Hill?
You can go and play football, go to college anywhere. You can still feel good inside and all. But if you come to Ithaca, it's just hands-on, it's family, it's everything you could ask for in a nice little Division III area. You know what I'm saying? Like not from the coaches, from the coaching staff to the players to the teachers and to everyone around the campus. It's an amazing environment. You can academically, if you are struggling, professors go out of their way to make sure you are getting the help you need, the resources, just as much as the coaches do. They will be on you and make sure you are focused, you are a man of your word. You will only become better as you choose to be a Bomber.
AJ, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck this upcoming season. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. Great experience.
This has been another installment of Bomber Briefing. We'll be back next week with episode 7. Have a great week, everyone.
Peace out.